Welcome back to the video lecture series on embedded systems. This is lecture number 7. In the previous lecture, I have discussed about general purpose registers. So there we have seen that R0 to R12 are the general purpose registers, out of which R0 to R7 and R8 to R12 have been divided as for both thumb as well as ARM instructions and only the ARM instructions respectively. In today's discussion, I have taken the special registers topic. There are three special registers in the Cortex M3. First one is program status register. Second one is interrupt mask register. Third one is control register. So we shall explore each register one by one. Okay, before going to the each details, so let us see how these special registers can be accessed, that is for read and write purpose. So if you use MSR instruction, you will be able to perform the write operation into the special, and if you use MRS instruction, you will be able to read the content of the special register into the desired register. So it is very easy to remember here. In both instruction we have M as common. So R means we can consider it for reading the content of special register into the general purpose register, and here S means storing the content of special registers into the general purpose registers. Okay. Now let us consider the first one, that is program status register. So, under program status register, it is if you consider a program status register, it is also a 32-bit register. Okay, it is also a 32-bit register which has been subdivided as three registers. Okay, APSR, IPSR, and EPSR. APSR, it stands for Application Program Status Register, IPSR for Interrupt PSR, EPSR for Execution Program Register. So as the name itself indicates, in the first case, that is application. So if you are running or executing a program, user program for a certain application, so its status can be retrieved from this APSR. Okay, and whenever the processor is handling the interrupts or giving the service to the interrupt, its status can be recognized through this status register bits. Similarly, the execution flow also. Okay, so we will see the details one by one. So the three PSRs can be accessed together or separately using the special register access instructions. Again, the same MSR and MRS. Okay, so when you use the all the three registers together, the name XPSR can be used. So as I told earlier, you can use MRS for read operation, MSR for write operation. But out of the three register, that is APSR, IPSR, and EPSR, so there are certain restrictions. So EPSR and IPSR are only readable. Okay, so they cannot be writable. But whereas APSR, you can perform write as well as read operation. Okay, so this you have to remember before using the instructions. So few examples to quote here are MRS. For all the three register, it is applicable. So here it is clearly, it can be clearly understood here that the content of APSR can be read into the R0. Same thing for this instruction also and this instruction also. But whereas if you consider the write operation, in write operation what happens? The contents of R0 or some other register, desired register, it can be stored or written into APSR register. So here if you observe the arrangement of the three register within 32 bits, so you can check here, okay, that is bits 31, bit number 31 to 27, they are meant for APSR, okay. And if you consider the IPSR, so IPSR is from bit number 8 to 0, it is a 9 bit. And similarly if you consider the EPSR register, so for EPSR bit number 25, 26, 24 and bit number 10 to 15 are used for various purposes. So this is the combined view of the entire PSR register when you see it as a cumulative of 3 sub-registers. Okay. Now, if you consider the usages of each, so we can have the example here. That is, if you are looking into the APSR flags, that is N, Z, C and V. Okay. So here there are certain registers which I will indicate it as star, which which can be actually understood after completing the coming topics. Okay. So here first one, negative. So always remember whenever you perform any certain operation, preferably arithmetic and logical instruction, if the result of arithmetic or logical instruction, in that result if the MSB bit is 1, so then in such case the resultant value is treated as negative. Say for example, if you perform 3 minus 4, so generally what we write it as minus 1. Here for simplicity I have considered only 4 bits, 4 bit register, or you can say even 3 bit register, 3 bit values, not register, sorry. So for a 3 bit value, so what you can write, 3 means 8, 4 to 1, so what I can write is 0 1 1. 4 means it is 1 0 0. So you cannot perform directly, so what happens is you have to take the 2's complement of this, so that will be 0 1 1. 2's complement of this is the same thing, correct? So 2's complement addition will take place instead of subtraction, which will result into 111. Here you can see the MSB is 1. In such case the negative flag value will be 1. If MSB is 0, then it will be 0. Okay, so this you need to remember. Now if you consider the next one, that is the 0 flag. So zero flag is very simple to understand. Whenever the result, whenever the result is 0 or all bits are 0, in such case 0 flag will be indicated. through 1, carry and borrow. So we know for while performing addition operation we use carry, while performing subtraction we come across the borrow whenever you subtract a higher number from the lower number. So in such case this flag will be reflected as 1. Overflow flag. So overflow flag, if you consider uh, if you consider any processor or controller right now, what we have is MS Cortex M3. It is a 32-bit register, that is bit number 0 to 31. But after performing some operation, if you find that the result is 0 to 32, total count will be 33. In such case, the overflow flag will be 1. So in simple words, whenever the result of an operation exceeds the data bus size value or the capacity of the processor, in such case the overflow flag will be indicated. Okay. Then about the sticky flag and as well as interrupt condition we'll see later. Then thumb state means whenever the processor is performing or operating on a 16-bit value, if it is calculating a 16-bit value, thumb mode means we know it is a 16-bit mode. In such case, what happens is the this P flag will be 1. Okay. Then exception number, we shall see these three in the upcoming topics. Okay. Next. In ARM assembler, when accessing XPSR, that is all three PSR together, the symbol PSR is used in the program. So we need to use the name or the symbol PSR. So the example is given here for read operation and write operation. Again by using MRS and MSR instructions. If you consider the next one, that is interrupt mask register, interrupt mask register. So under this we have three registers like pre-mask, fault mask and base pre. So as the name itself indicates, interrupt mask register. So these registers are used to mask the interrupts. See, there is a definite meaning for interrupt and exception. Interrupt means, suppose if the processor is carrying out certain operation, then if any external excuse me, if any external service is requested or indicated by some applications, so that will cause an interrupt. And exception means it is like the internal service requested by the processor itself, not by the user application. Okay. So interrupt, for example, technically if you take something like a fire sensor or smoke sensor. Okay. So whenever the whenever the sensor senses that smoke or fire, so then it through that sensor a signal will be sent to the processor through some port. In such case, what happens? The processor or controller should stop the current execution and it should provide the service. That is like an interrupt. Okay. So how these things are controlled using three register we shall see next. The pre-mask, fault mask and base pre register are used to disable the exceptions. Okay. They are used to disable the exceptions. And if you consider in specific, that is the pre-mask and base pre register, they are useful for temporarily disabling the interrupts in time critical task. Time critical task means the real time application also. In a real time application also, so we can temporarily stop certain interrupts, okay, using the pre-mask and base pre registers. Okay, so if you consider the use of fault mask, it is used by the operating system to temporarily disable the fault handling when a task has been crashed. Okay, a simple example for this one will be, if you consider that the mobile application in a mobile, whenever you update the operating system, then you go for installation. So while installing, actually they will be specifying not to restart or do some other activity. While installing, if you unknowingly, if you do some activity, or internally if some problem occurs, so then what will happen, that installation file will be unable to process further. So in such case, what happens is, it will give you a crash report. So you will be having one option also to go back and reinstall. Okay, this is the one simple example. So next, if you consider the description of the each, that is pre-mask, fault mask, and base pre. Pre-mask and fault mask are, they are 1-bit registers. So whenever the pre-mask is 1, it allows only non-maskable interrupts and the hard fault exceptions only. Okay, these two are allowed. But whereas all other interrupts and exceptions are masked. So the default value is 0, which means any masking activity is not allowed. Okay. Similarly, the fault mask, when it is 1, it allows only NMI, that is non-maskable interrupts, and all interrupts as well as the fault handling exceptions are disabled. Again, the same default value is 0, which means that no masking is possible. So base pre register, if you consider, it can be up to 8 bits. Depending on the design and requirement, it can be up to 8 bits. Okay, so I will come back to this point. So what is the purpose of this? So whenever it is 1 or whenever it is set, so it can disable all interrupts of the same or lower level. Okay, so higher priority interrupts can still be allowed. If it is 0, again masking function is not possible. So if you consider the interrupts, so an interrupt can be in 3 states: highest priority, or medium, or low. So if you consider that there are 5 high priority interrupts, 5 medium, and 5 low. So in such cases, using the base pre-register, you can disable medium and low priority interrupts. Okay. Even in the 5 high priority interrupts also, the one which is already executing, except that remaining 4 can also be stopped temporarily. The corresponding instructions which are used to perform the read and write operation using the C language are get and set, followed by the register name. Okay. Similarly, if you consider the assembly language, so you can use again the same thing, MRS for read operation, MSR for write operation. Now, the one thing you need to know is note is the pre-mask and fault mask and base pre-register cannot be set in the user access level. So you need the privileged level to do that. Okay. What is that? How we can do that? So that can be understood by considering the control register. Yes. Okay. So control register, it is a 2-bit register where bit one of this control register, bit number 0 and bit number 1. Bit number 1 is meant for selecting the stack pointer. If this is 0, MSP, that is main stack pointer, can be used. If it is 1, PSP can be used. Okay. So similarly, 0 bit number 0 of control register is used to select the mode of operation, that is privileged or user. So if it is 0, it will be in privileged level. If it is in 1, the bit 0 of the control register is at 1, so it will be in the user mode only. Okay. So 0 bit, that is control of 0, is writable only in the privileged state. So as I told you earlier, the only way to switch back to privileged is to trigger an interrupt and change this in exception handler. Okay. So the details I will give in the additional topics. So corresponding instructions are mentioned here. Similarly for first bit of the control register. Okay. So that is all about the special register. Thank you.